What's up, film family? Welcome to the Film Room Podcast. My name is Scott,
My name's Dion.
and today we're doing No Other Choice, the Oscar snub, perhaps. Directed by Park Chan-wook. This came out in 2025. And in this episode, we're going to be diving deep into it, giving our thoughts and opinions. We're going to be talking to the internet in the family meeting, seeing what people thought about it. We're going to be having the Filmies, which is our award show that we do at the end of every episode. But before we get into any of that, we always got to start with our general thoughts. General thoughts. So, Dion, what did you think of No Other Choice?
I really enjoyed it. Like I loved it. Honestly, it's a really fun experience. Like I'm a big fan of Park Chan-wook. I'm wearing an Old Boy T-shirt. I've worn it on the show a couple times, but
Ooh.
just because I had it, I was like, I might as well wear Old Boy
Yeah.
shirt. Eloise
yeah.
made it for me. Actually, it's custom. She painted this.
Damn!
Sick
Wow,
shirt.
that's impressive.
But I just love his visual styles to his movies. Like I love the dark humor in his movies, like in these serious moments, because there's a lot of killing and stuff in this movie, and like serious moments, but there's always sometimes humor gets thrown in there, and I just like the way. I don't know if that's specifically like a Korean type thing, because I guess I'm just comparing it to our boy JB, like where they have these moments where it's like I don't know if we should be laughing at this moment, but that's the perfect time where they're like, I'm gonna slip in a joke right here. And just the unpredictability of his movies too. I haven't seen every single one of his movies, but from the ones I've watched, I don't feel like it's a paint by numbers. Where like I could see how this is going. His characters get in these situations, and you may think you know where it's going, but like it always like kind of like flips itself on its head. So I like that, and I don't appreciate that. It didn't even get nominated for international. That's what we were talking about. You tease the snub thing. It doesn't necessarily, not every movie that is going to get in the top 10 of those, but not even international is kind of.
Yeah, that's the subject of our family meeting. So I'm gonna leave our discussion for that. But yeah, I loved it too. I mean, I think it was really fun camera work. Like there's some really cool transitions and some really creative shots. Really great story that's super crazy. Like you talked about the unpredictability, like just the situations that he puts people in, and he brings the characters around that enter the scene or exit the scene at specific times where like, oh snap, now they're involved, or like they know what's going on or they don't know what's going on. This is actually my first Park Chan-wook movie. I haven't seen Old Boy's the other like really popular one that I've heard a lot about. Which I'm excited to watch now, especially now.
And you never heard anything about it? Never been spoiled for anything like that?
Nope.
You know what the crazy thing is? And this is on topic. When we were at your house and we were doing the marathon, Cedric was sitting next to me and he was spoiling the movie out loud. And I was like, yo. I was like, I don't think everyone's seen Old Boy. And he's like, you just saying the plot out loud. And I was like, I don't think everyone's seen it. I'm like, that's crazy, Doug. And I was like, yo, chill out. So you're lucky you didn't hear him because he said the whole plot out loud. And I only realized like afterwards, I'm like, yo, dude, like that's like the whole thing of the movie. Yeah, you're saying the twist and everything. Like, chill out.
Well, good thing I didn't hear. So yeah, I'm excited to watch that. We'll when we do an episode on it, I'm gonna speak that into existence. But yeah, this movie was great. Like the dark comedy, you're totally right. Like it's funny because we just did How to Make a Killing, so we were talking about the same thing. It's like this person is killing people with an end goal, and the tone is a little unserious, and we're also kind of like rooting for this guy. Like I find it's so interesting the way that the narrative is the story, the way it's told. This guy's murdering people. He's planning to murder people. It's not just like something went wrong and like he had to kill this guy or whatever. Like no, he's planning to murder people, and he does it. One of which has a child, and yet we want this guy to succeed. I'm speaking for myself when I was watching it, but did you get the same idea? Were you like on this guy's side?
Well, I think the reason why it works is because we start with him and his family. So you're thinking like, that guy has a child. Was like, well, you see that he has 2 children, and he has two dogs, and he has a wife. So then you get comfortable with that family dynamic. So you're immediately like, that's the first family you see. So like you're you're rocking with them and you're rooting with them. So I found myself rooting for him too for that same reason.
Yeah, yeah. Not only you're right. Like the opening scene is his family. It's showing us everything that he has. Right. He's got a nice house. He's got a wife, 2 kids, dogs. They're eating like eel, and they're talking about how, oh, this is a delicacy. You can't have this all the time. So like we're showing this guy is rich in every way imaginable. And then another thing is that they're constantly showing us. They spend a lot of time like saying to us as they're speaking to like the kids and stuff, all the corners they have to cut, all the things they have to give up. His wife has to stop playing tennis. They have to cancel their Netflix subscription. They gotta
Yeah, that
like
was a funny line.
yeah, exactly.
Because he's like, I gotta finish my show, and you just hear the ding ding like in the
Ding,
background,
ding.
and you start the startup Netflix.
Yeah, it's like, well, I might as well watch one more movie before we, get rid of our Netflix. And they got to get rid of their dogs that they love so much. So like them spending so much time showing us like cutting stuff out that they can't afford every time this happens, and like his daughter needs better cello classes because she's a prodigy, and like it's just constant reminders of why he's doing this. And we're like, oh no, like we don't want them to lose their dogs, we don't want them to right. So like we're rooting for this guy, and he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, 100%. It is crazy. That's always a nice touch too. Like that's how you just immediately get like the dog owners, where it's like, damn, they gotta give up their dogs, 2 of them.
No.
It's just like, yeah, exactly. It was like, nah, I gotta root for this guy. They gotta get their dogs back. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Kill that other candidate for the paper job. I don't care about him and his daughter. We need our dogs back, damn it. Yeah, you're right. That is always a weird thing. But well, let's talk about
family.
Let's talk about Oscar snubs in the family meeting.
Let's get into it.
I don't have friends. I got family.
All right, welcome to the family meeting. This is where we ask the film family online what they thought about aspects of the movie. This time, Oscars. We are very, I was going to say famously, but we're not famous. We're always not, we don't really care about the Oscars that much.
Yeah,
I don't really care about the
We're consistent with our
consistent.
Yeah,
that's the word.
Yeah.
But for this one, I mean, Oscar season was right around the award show's right around the corner, and this is a big topic in the movie industry, is this movie specifically. So I asked the question, was this film really snubbed for the Oscar nominations? Because I really like this movie too, like we were saying, but I'm not super mad at it not being in Best Picture, because obviously something that has to be taken out for then this one to get a spot. So like all the other movies, I haven't seen every single of the other nominees, so like I'm not going to say this one's better. Out. Yeah, you know what I mean? But out of the ones that are in there, I think they're all deserving, one of which is probably the biggest topic that we'll get to. But on Instagram, we actually didn't, there was no really response to the poll. So I guess the people from Instagram haven't seen it or don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
But if I go to Reddit, before I go to Reddit, what do you think?
Like, what do I think the response was?
Well, what do you think about it being snubbed? Like, I know you mentioned it should at least be international.
Yeah. I feel I joked about this off pod where I was saying the Oscar said you already gave love to our boy JB, Bong Joon-ho. We gave a Best Picture when all these things, like we're good. Like we're gonna go back to American stuff. Which even when I said that, I realized it's not specifically true, because they do love foreign films. Like they like even this year, like Sentimental Value has getting some love, and like they give some love to European films, but they not always give love to like Asian films and stuff like that. Like the Parasite thing was like, oh snap, like okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
This year they said we gave love to what's it called, Demon Slayers, so that's all you're getting for Korean stuff. But I don't know, when it comes to the Oscar stuff, because we said that we consistently aren't that moved by the Oscars, in the sense of like it doesn't mean like we don't get riled up from it. And I feel like it's like the same thing with the Grammys, to make that parallel, where like I know certain people, like the most part, they're like, okay, well, like I like my artist, they didn't win a Grammy, it doesn't mean that their album necessarily wasn't good. But it's a certain thing maybe when your artist is a little smaller, and then you get that validation, so you're like, hey, that's how you feel, where it's like, oh, this small movie that I like is getting some validation. I don't necessarily think this means that now it makes it a great movie or anything, but it's nice at least to get that recognition. Where like my sister, for example, she doesn't give a damn about the Grammys, but she's a big Tyler the Creator fan. So every time he's nominated for something, she's suddenly like, "Oh, I hope he wins this Grammy." I'm like, if he wasn't even nominated, we wouldn't even be talking about the Grammys.
Right.
So I think it becomes that thing where with me with this movie, I usually don't care. I was mad when Decision to Leave didn't win anything, but at least it got nominated. Not Decision to Leave got nominated, like his last movie. At least got nominated for international. This time he didn't get. It's like this movie didn't come out. That's what it feels like to me. Where I was like, damn, we're not even gonna acknowledge this movie in the Oscars in any way.
Yeah,
No
like
cinematography, no nothing.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like even like, I mean, I mentioned in my general thoughts, like the camera work, the transitions, like it's fantastic in this movie. Like there's multiple examples of specific moments where I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? And like the Oscar, you make a good point about recognition because you're right. I'm not like, oh, it didn't get nominated. That means it's not good. And I'm always a big proponent of the pretentiousness of the Oscars, you know, like because that leads me to one of the Reddit responses. Also, there was a lot of people which came to no surprise to me saying, "Oh, well, F1 got in. So easy. Yeah, hell yeah, this was snub. Get F1 out of there." And I'm an F1. I was defending. Oh, I was getting lit up. I was getting downvoted like crazy. I was getting lit up, but I was defending F1, man. I was like, is the movie have a deeper meaning, littered with subtext, like even this movie does, and which is great. But is that does that make movies better? A great subtext can make a movie better, 100%.
Yeah.
But does that mean that movies without it can't be a great experience? Movies are an experience, right? And like F1, it's not trying to do that stuff. So like the fact that it doesn't have it doesn't knock it for me. Like just because it's simple doesn't mean it's not a great experience. So I think what F1 tried to do really succeeded. I think it was a really great movie. Was the plot simple? Yeah, but it did a whole lot of other stuff great, the adrenaline and all that. So I think it's deserving. I don't think it should win Best Picture, but I think it's deserving of the nomination.
No, for sure. And I'm on the same boat with you. I really liked F1. It was one of my top. I think I said it was in my top 5. I'm trying to remember our list that we made, but like it was in my top 5 of.
It was our number 2
favorite movies. Yeah, I think yeah, for sure. And I think at that point that was out without me seeing. I saw Marty Supreme at that point, but I didn't see Avatar. But I think my list would basically stay the same. I guess no other choice would have been in that top 5. I just hadn't seen it yet, so it would have been somewhere in that top 5. But a simple story of like redemption, like a guy that was like he got hurt and then came back to not like spoiling the plot of the movie. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but just that arc in itself is just like a simple story that's meaningful. You know, you can have like these kind of like somewhat motivational movies. It could speak to someone like, hey, even if you're old and maybe you're coming back to something, you can still do it. Like it's like a simple, nice little message in that sense. If you want to like pull something from it just being a popcorn movie, there's little elements of like that you can follow, look at certain characters and take something from them in that movie. To me, it's not like it's soulless.
Yeah.
So like I don't think not. Like there's elements of it.
Like I think the Academy and like the film space in general, the film community in general is so elitist that like I think they want so much for these award shows and for real films to have all this hidden meaning and deeper meaning and subtext so that they can like prove how smart they are, just so they could say like, no other choice was so great because I understood that, you know, burying stuff under the apple tree and his wife talking about the growth of that tree becoming, you know, burying what they did in the past. You know what I mean? Like all this hidden meaning. I can prove how smart I am that I understood all of this stuff. So that's why I'm going to award it. But at the end of the day, like, is the movie good or not? And this one is. I'm not saying it's not. But I'm saying like that doesn't necessarily mean like, okay, yeah, that means it's Best Picture because it has all this stuff and look how smart I am that I understood it. I don't.
No,
like that.
exactly. And no, I don't like that either. And I do think that sometimes movies can do too much in that sense, where it's just
Yeah.
not necessarily saying like you shouldn't have the viewers think too much, but where it's just like you're over complicating things to make it more deep, where it's just like what's even going on. Like you don't want your
Yeah.
people to be confused. You still want it to be good for like rewatches, like, oh, I didn't catch that the first time, or like that's a nice element to have. But like when you make it too complex and then it becomes this thing was like, oh, you just didn't get it, like you had to read this book from like 1951 or something, like, and you have to know the history of this and this. Is just like, well, it's like I gotta do homework before I watch the movie.
Yeah.
like make it at least simple enough that like the plot's easy to follow and you can go through it. And then there's added layers where it can, if you learn this, then it's like, oh, okay, now that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Like flat line, it's got to be enjoyable. It can't just be this whole subtext, like whole like hour and 30 minutes or whatever it is. I'm just like, did you like it? It's like I guess it looks nice.
If you didn't, it's because you're too stupid to understand.
Yeah, exactly.
It. Like that's where like when there's movies like that, it's just people proving like, oh, I actually got it. So it's actually a 10 out of 10. And if you didn't like it, it's just because you're not smart enough. So it's, I don't know. It's just people trying to prove that they're so smart when
basically
like, movies are for everybody. And if F1 is a movie for everybody.
Oh yeah.
And if we're just not gonna, I mean, you talk about recognition. If you don't want to give recognition to movies that like a movie that is for everyone, succeeds in a lot of ways and a lot of people enjoy, then what are we even doing? Like you just want to be different, and you just want to like, oh, everybody loves this. Nope. I'm not going to give it any love because of that. Like we don't want to alienate general audiences. We want everybody to come to the movies, then this industry succeeds. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
I think some of the elitist, pretentious film community is hurting themselves by saying, you know, someone watches a movie and be like, oh, I didn't really like it. And then you call them stupid for it. Are they going to then want to go watch another Park Chan-wook movie? No. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. 100%. And like, I watched an interview with James Cameron, and he even kind of spoke on this too, where he was even agreeing, like, and you could just look at his catalog and understand. He's like, he doesn't like those elitist type movies. And like, he's never really made one, but he's had movies that have subtext. Like Avatar's got a bunch of subtext, but he's like, I don't make it so much that like you don't see it. Like it's pretty much in your face if you just make the parallel. But he's like, I'm not doing like these little hidden things for you. He's like, I want more people. I want people to watch my movie, and that's always been his track record. He makes movies that people will go out and see.
People see, yeah,
yeah. He's not trying to make like these little like niche. I mean, and I'm interested. His next movie is making about is like it's gonna be about World War II. So I'm interested to see how he does that, because that's kind of a flip for him.
Oh, I didn't know
not
that.
to go too off on a tangent, but
okay.
What were some other comments? It was mostly just F1 hate.
No. So there definitely was F1 hate, but I'm gonna shout out Sour Belts, who said it should have at least been nominated for international. That was what got the most upvotes. We already said that. It definitely, I think. I mean, again, I don't think I've seen any of the international. Have you seen any of the other ones? It's like
I'd have to look at it again.
I think The Secret Agent.
No, I haven't seen The Secret Agent. So
I mean, I've heard good things about him, but like, again, I guess one has to be taken out for that to go in. But
no, exactly. Yeah, which is fair. There's no. I'm the same, where I wouldn't be like, well, take this one out. Like I have to see them to make that. But it's just crazy. I'm like, damn, these movies better be good. I'm gonna go check them out.
Yeah, exactly. And finally, I'm gonna shout out Persephone, who said 100%. It's an Oscar snub. Some of the most gorgeous camera work I've seen in a minute. I totally agree with you there. Like I said, the transitions and some of this, like when he's drinking like a beer, and then
that's
the camera's like at the bottom of the cup, and it like, oh, that's really cool. Insane. Yeah. The camera work is really, I got some more specific things I'm going to shout out later, but
yeah, no, that's a big one. They had to throw that one in the trailer too. They're like, that was in one of the because I think they showed him drinking, and then it went into just saying like 4 stars. Like it was a cool transition of like it being like a reveal of a review. Like I was like, yeah, you have to show off that shot. That's a dope shot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, but that is a really cool one.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back into, well, not back into because we're talking about the movie, but let's get into our thoughts
Yeah.
on the movie, what we liked, didn't like. So one thing I really liked was, I mean, just the start of the movie in general, kind of setting up the plot. I think it was done really well. Like, he's about to first kill the guy. He's got the plant on the roof, right?
Hmm.
And the guy that has the job, that he loses his job, so he wants this guy's job. And he's about to kill him, and then he paused for a second. He's like, wait, that's not enough. Like, if I kill this guy, so I'm still just gonna have to go into an interview and compete against everybody else. So he's like, okay, let me think about this. Runs the fake job ad to see who his competition is, stacks himself up against him, be like, okay, I'm better than this guy, I'm better than this guy. Okay, these are the 3 people that I have to take out so that I can get the job. Like, it sounds so simple to just make it make sense,
Yeah.
but it's a lot harder to do. And I think the fact that it's done so well, it really allows us to like get immersed in the story and feel like you're not watching a movie because we can believe it. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't feel like we're watching a story that someone wrote. It feels like this could actually be happening. So I
Hmm.
really like that setup.
Yeah, no, I like it too. And to go into like how, like, because if you just did it like that, it just seems so movie-esque, where it's like this guy's just gonna drop something on this guy in broad daylight. Like, for
Hmm.
to have the character, because we're led to believe he's an intelligent man, so that he like really plot on and think about it and go through this like scheme. And I even just like the way like he handled a lot of them. Like, it was sloppy. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, this is not what he does. So like every single situation he's been in when he has to uh put himself again with in these with the situation with these guys, it's all feels like awkward and like the shaky gun and like all these
Hmm.
things. Like, it's just he's very like pristine when he's planning it, but then when it comes to the moment, it's just very like off-putting, and like he just doesn't know how to handle it, which would be how it would be because he's never done this before.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting that at the start, anyways, is really, really sloppy.
Hmm.
Second one's a little bit better. Third one is actually like really calculated. Like, I think
Yeah.
he is improving as he's doing this because,
Yeah.
like you said, the first time he's never done this before. By
Hmm.
the second time, now he's done it once. He learned a little bit, and then by the third time, he's like, okay, like I know what I'm doing here. So I found it interesting the way he kind of improves because, like you say, the first kill, he's kind of getting lucky with the first
Yeah.
kill. Like, he's spying on them, and the snake bites him.
Hmm.
So he's meaning to be completely hidden so they don't find him, but then the snake bites him. So it's funny too. Like, he
Yeah.
just falls down the hill, and then she comes and sucks the venom out and everything.
And his wife
And then
calls
yeah,
in
his
the
wife
moment.
calls her. Like it's really sloppy. And he gets in the house, and then like the music's blasting, and then the wife shows up, and it's just a shit show. They're all
Oh
fighting
yeah,
for
it's
the
so chaos.
gun.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And like, he doesn't even end up killing her. Like, she ends up killing
Yeah.
him. And
Which goes to that unpredictable aspect we were
yeah,
talking about. I did not see that coming.
didn't. And then but I think what was so good about, like, something that I love about the movie too is how cohesive it is, the story. Like, because this happened, it means that it works in the end because of this. So like, the fact that she kills her husband means that she's the one that does the work to cover it up, right?
Mhm.
Because she's heavily involved. Like, if Men Sue kills her husband, she could easily go to the cops
Yeah.
and tell them this. But because she's the one that did it, like, later in the movie when they're interrogating her, she's like, "Oh, I don't know where he is. My husband's gone. He has a gun." And like, so he gets lucky in that sense
Yeah.
that she's covering up stuff for him because she ends up being involved, and he's running away. He's wearing these big like waders and boots and stuff. Like, it's just, the first one is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's insane. And like she's chasing him like as it's
Yeah.
like it's just, and she's just far. Yeah, it's so much chaos in that opening, and it's just like, oh my goodness, like because at that point you're like, this is how he's gonna be handling these kills. Like, it's
Yeah.
just gonna be a wild ride as he continues, and he's got to hide this from his wife and everything, and he's got to pretend like he's doing job interviews throughout
Hmm.
the days, and that stuff's wild.
I think but then we get to the second one
Mhm.
where he's learned from the first one. He says like, okay, let me do a little bit more setup here. So he goes to the shoe store. He's talking to the guy. Like I said, they really humanize him, saying like, he's got a daughter. They're
Yeah.
bonding about their daughters. But he does something really smart. He's like, okay, I'll come back for these shoes, but I got work or something, so you got to stay late. So he holds him back so that there'd be less people on the roads. He does this car trouble thing. He knows where he's going to get. Like, he didn't do any of this for the first one, but he got all set up. He did all this planning. But then at the same time, when the guy shows up, he's hesitant to pull the trigger, and they have this like little fight, and then he just kind of like instinctively, boom, like shoots him before even realizing. He leaves the bullet casing on the road. So it's not perfect, but it's better than the first one.
Mm-hmm. And I remember I was shook too, like, because when they came to like investigate him, like on that thing, I was like, oh man, like, is he just gonna fold here? And especially like with his wife in the background and her kind of like, she's kind of like, what did you think about the whole like wife dynamic, like that whole back and forth with like their relationship?
I think overall she added to the story, especially like later on when she starts to find out a little bit about what's going on, and then that adds a little bit of an increased conflict. I found it interesting, like she finds out, but she's not like, oh my god, you're like, this is horrible, we got to go to the police, like you are terrible. Like she's kind of like, okay, let's do this, you know what I mean? Like she kind of is in on it. But at the same time, like I think the whole dynamic of like like the dance, when she goes to the dance and then he doesn't show up, so like she starts, he thinks that she's cheating on him with like the dentist, and she's getting mad at him about like drinking and stuff, but he's not drinking, she's not cheating. Like some of that, I was like, I don't know really what this is doing necessarily.
I guess it's just building conflict in between the two of them, and you don't know if this is just like, I think it's just to have that element of like, this could blow up in his face. Like he's doing this for his family, but it's just the conflict of like, oh, well, you're actually causing damage on this side. So like, as you're doing this, you might be ruining the other side too. So then what's even the point?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
so it's just that element of conflict. Because like if everything was just peachy on the other side, then I think it would just be, I don't know what you'd be doing in those moments with the family. I guess you have to have kind of create conflict on both sides. So it's not just, because then I think the other side would just kind of be boring. Like, why would we just keep coming back to the family and everyone's just fine?
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah,
that's because then we get the element of like the kids stealing like the iPhones, just like adding another element to it, or it's like, damn, I gotta deal with this too.
Yeah, I think that threw a good like wrench into the thing, because I like that in these kind of movies. Like, you're right, you don't want him to be going through this and everything just like goes to plan and goes smoothly, because then again you can feel like you're just watching a movie. Like, this is clear, like there's just plot armor, everything that this guy's doing. But like I said, like the stuff, it really makes sense, like what's happening in the story, so it allows you to really get immersed into it. And like when his son steals the iPhones and stuff, that's the type of thing that like, okay, with another problem for you to deal with, the relationship with his wife. I guess maybe because I never really thought that she was just gonna leave him, so I didn't really see a consequence on the horizon, so the conflict felt a little meaningless to me. Whereas like his son with like the iPhones is like, okay, the consequence here could be that he goes to jail, so that's like a real stake, so this is something you really have to deal with. But like the conflict with his wife, to me anyways, felt a little bit lower stakes.
Yeah, which is fair. I think the aspect that I just liked about it is just the fact that, I mean, the daughter doesn't talk, so like they kind of established that in a way, so it's like she doesn't really have to do anything. But just the fact that we introduced like this family, I just like that, how the other characters were just at least doing things. Because then it'd just be like, it was just like he's the only one doing anything, and then everyone else is just kind of like a bystander in like life. And like they're not reacting to the thing, the thing that's going on in their life. Like they would react, like him trying to steal stuff and do these things is like, and even have like this little aspect of like he's smoking secretly, just like, it's just characters that do things. They're not just like on the side. They're just like show up when he shows up, and they're not doing anything that's meaningful. So I at least I like that aspect of like the characters are doing things as he's doing things.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that adds again to the cohesiveness of the story. Like those things really matter too, right? Like the fact that his daughter is this like cello prodigy or whatever. So like, so that adds more, again, like motivation for him to be doing this. Like he has to be doing this because he has to afford that. Like if you have a character in the story, they should be there for a reason. I think that's just good writing. So you're right. Like the fact that his wife and his kids are there, they have to have something to them. There has to be a reason for them to be in the story. So his son, a big part of that is the iPhone thing. Also that he kind of sees him like start to cut up like a body, and then he doesn't know what's going on, and then we find out that he's smoking. So him and his dad, they have this little bonding moment where he like gives it back to him. He's like, look, just don't tell mom, like a little father son thing. I kind of like that. That adds to it. But I mean, one thing I didn't like as much about the son was like he's not actually Mansu's son. Like this is a minor issue for me because it really it isn't even that big in the story, and it's inconsequential, but that's kind of my problem with it. Is that she's like, oh, you said that you would always be like a good dad to him. And he's like, yeah, I've always been here for him. I've always treated him like my own son. And like, that just like, what did that even do?
Yeah, it's true. I didn't ever add any, because it didn't get revealed. You think when something that gets brought up, you're like, okay, well now it's going to get revealed.
He's going to,
and that's going to be, and that's going to be more conflict. But yeah, it was just never there. I guess it was there, like left dangling as like this thing of like, maybe you're thinking it's going to get revealed and it's going to add some conflict, but it didn't in the end. So yeah, I don't know why that was, I don't know why that was in there.
It was something really small. Yeah. It's just no other choice too. Yeah. Second choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Second choice. But yeah. It was just...
And then, okay, so I was going through like the kills and how he gets better. I think and then we get like the third kill when he's fully like calculated at this point. Like he knows exactly what he's doing. Like he covers all of his bases, gets the guy drunk, he sets him up on the chair. He drops the glass. He even drops the glass the first time. He's like, no, not good enough. And he drops it a different way to like make sure everything's set up perfectly. He buries him in the ground, gets him to throw up. Like it's nasty.
I didn't know what he was doing at first too. Like that part kind of, I didn't, because he didn't tell us what the plan was. It wasn't like this macho things. I'm gonna do this. So like when he buried him, but he left his head out, I was like, what's going on? I didn't understand. Did you know what was going on?
No, I definitely didn't know what was going on. I was worried, like, is he going to leave him there? But that seems stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that's what I was thinking
too.
And if like I get now, the idea is you bury him so that he can't fight back, right? So you can force feed him alcohol and this mush or whatever to make him throw up and wrap his head and all this stuff. But you could have also just like tied him up. Maybe that would have been a little easier. Because
I guess it's just the plant connection because he's a plant guy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That's a reoccurring thing in this movie. But at the same time, like, if you're calculated, like, okay, my end goal here of being at this guy's house is to kill him and make it look like he threw up and died. Yeah. So if you bury him in the ground, wouldn't he then be all dirty? You gotta like if you sit him in the chair and he's covered in dirt, then the police would be like, what the, how did that happen? You know what I mean? So like, did he then have to clean him before setting him up? Like if you just tie him up, that achieves the exact same thing. And you then don't have to do this whole, like, give him a dead body a shower or whatever he did to him. You know?
Did he cover him in plastic? I'm trying to remember. I don't think he did.
His face, yeah. His whole body,
face.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe we didn't see that part.
Maybe
of him, because that is a good point you make, though. That is a good point where it's just like, yeah, he would have been dirty, but I don't think he was when he put him in the chair.
No, he wasn't. But that's what I mean. Did he give him a shower, or did he?
Yeah, because it seems like way more work, and you're like on a time crunch for the most part. Like you don't want to be there too long,
right? And then that's what adds another like wrench during that scene, because again, we don't like, everything's going really well. Like he's getting him drunk. I mean, there is the little thing that he's a recovering alcoholic, so he doesn't drink anymore. Yeah. So he's like just pouring the shots out into this bowl, but then the guy like forces him to drink basically. Mm-hmm. So he kind of falls off the wagon. This is what leads him to then pull out like his tooth. Yeah, that's been, he's had this toothache the whole time, but he's like, okay, like time to finally do it. Mm-hmm. But another point of like him covering his bases, like I thought maybe when that happened, I was like, oh, he's gonna forget about it, and this is how he's gonna get caught. But he grabs the pliers and he takes the tooth with him. I was like, okay, no, he's covering all of his bases, and his wife calls him, so that's another thing. You're like, oh snap, now she just found out about the other body. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that she covered from. Like I had no idea where that dynamic was going. And I think even as the movie ends, like she's still kind of like a little iffy on him. But it's one of these things where she's like, well, we got these two. I think she's like, she just maps out like what her life would be like, how more complicated it might be on the flip side with her kids and everything. And she having like this prodigy child, and she's just like, you know what? Fine, let me just let me just stay with them, and then I'll get to do the things I was doing before, tennis and all that stuff. Versus like, might be harder for me on the other side of this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they genuinely love each other, and I also think that I mean, your point is true that like if you just think about the consequence, okay, if I leave this guy, then what am I going to do with my kids? Like, I don't have a job. Well, I guess she had like this dental hygienist job or whatever, but like she doesn't really probably want to be doing that, and they probably can't afford like this house and the cello lessons and all this stuff. But no, I think she was just down for it, man. I think she was just like, if we had to kill these guys for you to get this job, that's okay.
That's true. Yeah, I do agree with you. I do think she does generally care, but I also, as much as people can be ride or die, I think there probably is a line. Yeah, because when it's not even like, you find someone buried in your yard, it's like, I think a lot of ideas come to your head. It's just like, how many other bodies are there? Like this, like what life? You all start calculating, what life am I going to be leading even forward with this guy? Like, I'm worried about like, it might be tougher for me by myself with these kids. We get split and all that stuff. But like, what's my life going to be like with this guy who's okay with killing and he's burying it in our yard? Like, this could be crazy messy. My kids have to grow up around this. So like, I think there's that line too, where she's got to calculate like, I don't know what makes sense. What decision should I make?
That is a good point. I mean, based on the ending of this movie and kind of just the whole narrative structure, like we're led to believe, me anyways, that like he's done killing.
Yeah.
Like he got his job and he's good. Like he doesn't need to kill any. Like he's not out murdering people because he's crazy. Yeah. He's murdering people with an end goal. And now that he reached that goal, he's not going to kill anyone, I would assume. But like, she could also be in the headspace of like, okay, he's, like you said, I found one body. How many others are there? She doesn't know. And she doesn't know that this was a potential candidate for a job. This could have been someone that he literally just like, he could just be a crazy serial killer. She doesn't know that this is for like to get a job.
Yeah.
So like that's a very distinct difference. You know what I mean? If this guy's just a psycho that's killing people.
Yeah. For no reason. Fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Versus, which at the end of the day, it's depending who you are, you still look at it like, well, killing is killing. It's like, well, this guy has a motive where it's like this goes back to the like, is it scarier if there's no motive?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But
it's like, oh no.
If she like, because you could also think, even if this is a means to an end, I kill these people so I can get this job and then I'm good. But then, like, now that you've killed 3 people, you're like, hey, that was kind of fun. You know what I mean? Like, now, like, once you've passed that line, you're like, okay, I'm a killer now. I've done it. What's another body? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, if he gets to that point and then he falls off the wagon, he's just, like, losing it, killing people left and right, like, then maybe she'd be a little bit different. But if she's like, okay, killing people, get a paper job, we're good.
No, it's true.
But that's a very real possibility.
It is very true. And I think one thing that this movie does really well, and like Ellie showed me a video. She sent me a YouTube video that kind of like really taps into like Korean culture. And I remember I even like read a book that like briefly talked about just like the high standards for like grades and stuff like that, and just like for like getting the certain kind of jobs, and just like the beauty standards, like with K-pop and all these things, just like how intense it can be. And I feel like this movie, it depicts it in a way that doesn't try to explain it to Western people. It's like if you don't understand it, because the movie's called No Other Choice, and I think it kind of taps into that, like, yeah, like people go crazy for what, like I remember like in the video it even talks about, which I didn't even know, that like what's it called? There's this test. I don't remember exactly what the test was, but there's a test. There's a period when there's this test that happens for like 8 hours, and like the whole like cities like shut down. Like nobody's doing, like stores closed down. People there's writing these tests for like 8 hours, and there's such a big depiction of like what school you go into and stuff like that. And it was showing that like parents like go to like temples and will just start praying during the whole time, being like, I hope my kid passes, hope my kid gets a good grade, because that will determine if they get into a good like school or not, and like that. And like after the test is done, these tests get posted like on a website for everyone to see. So it's like becomes like this comparison thing of like, okay, like who got the top marks? It's like, oh man, like I didn't make it. And like people like they study so hard. Like people like they finish school and they're studying and they'll get home at like midnight. And this guy was like a teacher talking about how like people like he'll see students like drinking like 4 monsters like in a day. Like people just constantly like going so hard. So like for this guy, it like really taps into that, because it's just like, yeah, there's no other choice. Like I was in this, I was doing this for 25 years and I'm gone. And it's like there's so much like shame with not like you can't just like there's no acceptance of like, well, you know what, maybe this is just my life. Like he was in that warehouse and like maybe he could try a different way, but he's like, no, I can't do it. Like I just have to. That's the only way. Like I have to get back to the top. That's it. That there's literally no other thought that goes in my mind. Do I have to kill someone? Yeah, exactly. Do I got to kill someone? That's what I got to do. And it's just like, it doesn't overly explain those pressures that's in the culture. It's like if you were from it, you know it. You know how intense it is.
I'm not from it, but you know, I'm aware of like the pressures of like, I know honor is a big thing in like Asian culture. So something like that, like if you get great grades, Jesus, that's tough to say. And you know, you're a doctor, then you know that your status is the best of the best kind of thing. So like a test like that you're describing, it's like this is going to decide like the rest of your life, almost like how people treat you and the money that you make and the places that you live and the circles that you're in. Like that's insane. The pressure of that is insane. And then so once you get there, you're at this prestigious job at like a manager of this paper factory, you make a good living and everything. Like I said, they make a real emphasis to show us that in the first scene. You have a good wife and kids and everything. You will do whatever it takes to keep that.
Yeah.
Especially in that type of culture.
Yeah, 100%. Because maybe like in a Western movie, it almost be like, I mean, we're talking about, it's funny, like it's such like the parallel. I didn't even think about the parallel with like how to make a killing. It's a very similar in that aspect, different plots and everything, but just this idea of someone trying to like work their way to a certain spot and having to kill in those means is similar in that aspect. But like maybe in a Western movie, they would have been like, you know what? It is okay. Like I can just come back to like this spot and we can like figure it out. But they'd be like, that's not realistic. That's not how the culture is here. Like maybe in North America, you might push that, be like, no, it's fine. Just like do this. But like here, it's like, no. You need to be the top or you're shameful to your family.
Right.
Like that's a shame.
I think one way that he kind of explains that to the audience without just doing it in like an exposition dump is with the first kill, like the first victim. So that guy, I mean, everyone that he's killing is someone that's unemployed looking for a job, right? Except the third guy, he has the job, so that's why he's killing him. But the first guy, right? We see him at first, he's just like drunk in his house, like in his underwear, and his wife's like, you know, you got to shower, you got to like do something, like you're being a bum. And right before they have their big conflict, you know, he finds out that she's cheating, and then they have this fight with the gun and everything. And right before she kills him, he's like, losing my job like wasn't my choice, like it just happened to me. And she was like you don't get it, like it wasn't the fact that you lost your job, it's how you're dealing with it. So I think that's something that kind of explains that culture without being too in your face about it, of her just saying like, yeah, you lost your job, but you're just like sitting at home being drunk, like being a loser. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
okay that you lost your job. Like, these things happen, but you got to go out and fight and like try and get a new job. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the same in Western culture as well. It's not like if you
Mhm.
get a job, you could just sit at home and get drunk. But like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that explains that at least a little bit. And again, if you're Korean or you know if you're from that culture, then that would really hit for you.
Oh, for sure. Even just the one thing that you probably wouldn't see in like a Western movie is the like that little group session that they do, like have that
Yeah,
lady speaking to them,
tapping
like
their head like
that's what I
I'm
mean. Like
good, I am useful.
exactly. Like that whole dynamic, that's not something you usually see because it's like someone loses their job, they're not going to like it's like an AA meeting almost type thing.
Yeah.
Because that's how serious people like take it. Like that's the difference. Like people here wouldn't maybe like, some people will take it seriously, but just having that aspect in there, I think, is a way of showing that like, no, this is serious. Like, someone loses their
Mhm.
job, they have to go to like group therapy because like it's so shameful that they
Yeah,
need to be in like that kind of group setting.
that's a really good point. Uh, something. So I mentioned that like it's the tooth pain.
Yeah,
Like the. Do you think what was the significance of that to you? Did you find there was like an extra meaning to that?
I think there definitely was. Like, I didn't specifically. Like, I don't think that's a culture thing. Like, I'm not gonna go that far as big. This is specific like Korean or Asian culture
Mm.
thing. But I definitely think it was tapping into something of just kind of being like this nagging thing. But I don't know what exactly what the symbolism of it was.
I have a
But
theory.
I feel like it was okay. I'm curious to hear your theory.
My theory is it represents his guilt.
Mm,
So I can't remember exactly the first time that we see him like touch his face or like reference that he's having this pain, but I feel like it's maybe around like when he gets the idea to start killing people. I mean, that's pretty much at the start of the movie, anyways. But
mm,
um, so I think he's feeling guilty about everything, and like every time like if he's digging a hole like he's gonna put a body in or something, then he's like he touches his face. So like it's always when he's doing one of these nefarious acts.
mm.
So I think it's kind of representing that guilt. And then once he drinks and he rips it out, he's like on full demon time after that. He's he's
Yeah,
that's when he buries the guy in the dirt. His wife calls him and he's like, I can't turn my camera, like I'm about to kill this guy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
mhm,
unapologetic about it. And
yeah.
so but then she's also becomes okay with it, and then he turns the camera on. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing. Another cool camera trick, like they're standing back to back but in completely different parts
Oh,
of the city, like in this
yeah,
moment, like super cool. But yeah, so I think the tooth, like once he rips it out, it's kind of him like, okay, I'm not guilty anymore. I did what I did. I'm killing this guy because I need his job.
mhm. Yeah. No, that's a good point. It definitely, I think that definitely is probably what it is. To be honest, it's just it's just this element of guilt, and then he's got to that point where it's just like, you know what, and like I'm done with this. And
Hmm.
even that whole the way you worded the whole full demon time, I thought it definitely was like that a hard shift of like because we know that like he doesn't drink, he's not drinking anymore. As soon as that he took his sip and the first bit of it touched his lips, you're like, okay, we're about to see a different character because he was
Yeah. Yeah.
as long as like he was doing crazy stuff before, but he still had that one line that he wasn't crossing, and now he's crossed the one line that he wouldn't cross before. So at that point, you're like, okay, all bets are off now.
Yeah. Yeah. Really good point. Um, Do you have any other specific points that you want to get to before?
Well, what do you think about the ending? I don't know if you felt like there was any like symbolism behind that. Like he finally gets hired, but now it's just him and he's working with robots, basically,
Yeah. I didn't really attach any symbolism to that. I mean, I thought it
or
was funny,
subtext,
like
or yeah,
just like would we see him walking and then in the factory and all the machines are going and he's just like celebrating. He's like, "Yeah, I did
yeah,
it!" And like the music is blasting for him. I think I think the ending with his family is is more important in the sense of like his wife, he says at the end, he's like, oh well, this weekend, like to celebrate, why don't we have a pig roast?
mm,
And they're like, no, his wife and his son, because that's what she told his son was like the body under the tree was a pig. So he's like a little turned off to that. So that's a little callback. And then his daughter for the first time starts like playing her music, right? So like I think all of that is just symbolizing again, like he won. Like this, our main character, we're rooting for this guy. He's murdering people and he won. So like from our perspective, like the good guy won. Yay. Yeah. He just murdered 3 people. You know, so that's what I think is so crazy about it. It's so well done though. The fact that we can leave feeling so happy about his daughter is playing her music because her dogs are back. She's super clearly attached to the dog. She's happy and they have their house again and everything's great. This guy just killed 3 people. Crazy.
No, it's true. And it's like, to me, the I'm just like thinking about, because like when he was first doing it, right? It was like he was working with people, right? And then by the end of it, it's literally just him and like in robots, and then just like, so part of me was thinking, I was like, I don't know if this is like supposed to be like an empty kind of win. It's like when you reach that mountaintop, it's like it's lonely at the top kind of thing. It's like you got to the point, but you had to step on people. And now you're not working with people anymore. You know what I mean? It's like you and your family are good, but like you had to step on all those people. You killed 3 people, but now like there's nobody working with you. It's just you and like robots.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. I never really thought of it that way. It's funny because you asked me the symbolism of this, and I didn't really have any thought, but you have a good theory. I just did the same thing with the tooth pain. But no, that's a really good point. Yeah, like an empty win. But I don't know, from his reaction, it doesn't feel like that. Like it feels like he's like, hell yeah. Like I don't care if I'm working with people. He's selfish, right? He's like, I got my job, my family's good. That's all I care about. I wonder if it's also like a 2026 thing, like just kind of a timely thing of showing like you said, we started with this factory of, you know, everybody, all these people working. Now we're at this part where one dude is working and it's just machines. So like this is where we're leading to. But I like your idea of an empty win. That's interesting.
I feel like it kind of like, I'm just like thinking out loud of it. Like it's being like it's obviously talking about greed. Like this whole thing is like talking about greed, and it's like it obviously ties to like capitalism and stuff like that. And I just wonder if it's even more so even for us. Like we see it as like an empty win. It's like, oh, we were cheering for this guy, like he's for his family, he's like a family man, but then it's just like, then we see him like in this empty space where it's just like they're almost like showing you like, this is what this greed will get you. Like you're just gonna be surrounded by no one. And it's just like, and look what he had to do to get there. And so like it kind of, that at least it made me think in that aspect where I was just like, I really noticed, I was like, when he was doing it before, there was so many people around, and now it's just like, it's just him and robots, and it's just like, oh, that feels kind of like isolated, and like it just feels distant now.
That is a good point. I think another aspect that lends to that point is not only the difference in the amount of people that are there, but also the difference in the way his work is. Like at the start, you know, they have the big roll and he's got the stick and he's tapping it with the stick and they're mixing all the ingredients together and they're testing it. And I can't remember if it was him or one of the other paper workers in the movie that talks about like, no, it's like an art form, right? Like the difference of this and the difference of that, like getting the consistency and the tearability and the, you know, like all this stuff that they're explaining how like the craftsmanship that goes into that. And now there's none of that. He's just on an iPad, like pushing buttons, you know what I mean? So like you're losing the people, but you're also losing that craftsmanship aspect.
Yeah. And I think it was him and another guy bonding on that. So like he was definitely felt that same kind of feeling towards it, which is why I was saying that I feel like it's an empty win. Cause it's like, yeah, you got what you want, but you kind of didn't at the same time. Where it's just like, I'm in the job, but all those things I said I liked about it, I didn't really get to do anymore.
Right.
And like, so I was like, that's why to me it kind of felt like an empty win, because he kept tapping the thing anyway, even though like, yeah, you don't need to do it anymore. Like the robots can do it, but he's still doing it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a really good point. I didn't think of that, but I like that. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to watch this again.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially even just visually, just for the camera tricks and stuff. Yeah. Like that stuff's really fun.
No, for sure.
I got one little fact. Park
Yep.
Chan-wook
Mm-hmm.
first mentioned the project in 2009. He said that he had read the 1997 novel. It's called The Axe by Donald Westlake. That's what this movie is like based on.
Mm-hmm.
And then again in 2019, he mentioned that he was still working on it. And he called it a lifetime project and said he hoped to make it his masterpiece.
Damn.
I know you hate the word masterpiece, but do you think he did it?
I do hate that word. I don't know. I got to watch all his movies, decide which one is the best one at this point. So,
okay, that's fair. Do you like it better than Old Boy?
It's tough. It's tough to say because like subjectively, because like when you watch a movie first and then it's been some time, it gets like that nostalgia like glow on it. And then I just watched this one. It's hard. I think it's almost damn near impossible to do that with somebody. To be like, oh yeah, like that was better. So I need to watch
Old Boy again.
I had to watch Old Boy again, so then they'd be both be fresh because it's been a while. So they'd be like, okay, and then maybe because visually his like as his movies keep going, his visually is just more and more interesting. Like when I watched Decision to Leave, even then I was like, damn, like he's still on his shit, yo. Like he's elevating. You feel like he just be like, people know me. Like people know me since Old Boy. Like I'm not even gonna focus on the visuals, but like he upped the visuals in No Other Choice. And then when we watched this, I almost forgot. I was just more focused on like what's the story beats were gonna be. And then I watched this movie, I was like, he's still elevating his visuals. I'm like, that's crazy. I mean, he's in his 60s. You think he'd just be like, yeah, they know me. It's like picking up a 3-pointer at the end of your career. It's like, okay, all right,
Brooke Lopez type.
That's what I'm saying. Situation? I'm like, I didn't think he had to do all that, but I'd say I'd compare more to LeBron picking up a 3 because LeBron never had a 3, and like he went so long in his career. And everyone's like, yeah, LeBron's that guy. He can go to the rim, do all these things. But then when LeBron started picking up a 3 a little bit, it's like, okay, you're still picking up a 3-pointer. I was like, all right, you could have just kept doing what you were doing, but
yeah. Okay, that's funny. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. No, I think that's it. I was no, I think that's it. That's all I got.
Then it's time for the Filmies.
It's time. Yes, it's that time of the show. It's time for the Filmies, and this is the part of the show where we give out those 6 awards that Scott was talking about earlier. And the first award we have is our Ferris Bueller Award, which aka our Lazy Award. So, who gets your Ferris Bueller?
I gave it to Mansu, and it's for trying to cut the guy's body up in his greenhouse. So, like, surely there's a better place to do this than a clear room that he taped up all these tarps and everything, but like there are buildings that exist with just walls. You know what I mean? Like you chose a clear space 20 feet from where your son is sleeping, and you didn't even cover the whole thing. Like you left the top open, and like I just think that's a bad decision, man. Like you're late. You're like, okay, should I drive out into like an abandoned warehouse and do this? Like, why don't I just go into the greenhouse? That'll be a little, you know what I mean? Like that's just lazy.
No, it is lazy.
It's not a good call.
And you can even say just not covering the top part is lazy.
Yeah,
you did all the other part. Like just do the whole job.
Yeah,
just cover the whole thing up.
Exactly.
That's a perfect lazy award. That's a perfect lazy award. I struggled with this because I was trying to find something that was like deliberate, like that really stuck out to me. That one, for whatever reason, didn't. As soon as you said it, I'm like, yeah, that actually is pretty lazy. I don't know why he didn't just finish up the job and cover everything up. That's a good Ferris.
What's yours?
I also gave it to Mansu, but this is me like trying to find something, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it to him for not practicing his interview because he struggled through the interview process so hard, like as if like he didn't expect to get interviewed. Like he just thought like it almost felt like I'm gonna apply for the job, I'm just gonna get it. But like when they were like talking to him, he was like sweating, like he was shook. I'm just like, dog, like just do a quick run through with the wife here or something. You know what I mean? Like just like I just felt like he was not prepared for that interview. So I gave him a lazy award for that.
That's a really good point. I mean, we see him watching the YouTube video of their like promo, like the company promo or whatever. So he's, I guess, familiarizing himself with the company, or like I don't even know exactly what he's doing, but like instead of that, go in the mirror, talk to yourself, tell yourself about the guy. Even gave him the blueprint. He's like, hey, they're gonna ask you about your weakness. You know what I mean?
Enough.
They told you what's gonna happen. Practice your risk. Come on, bro.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Mansu. We both gave him Mansu for different reasons, but come on, Mansu.
Come on, bro.
Next award we have, self-explanatory, is fit check. So who got your best fit in the movie?
I gave it to Riwon, who is his daughter. She it's at the end when the dogs come home, and it's raining. They're standing outside. They got their umbrellas, but she's got on like this purple raincoat with like orange designs all over, and she's running around with the dogs. And then the dogs also have matching raincoats. So it's kind of like a group award. Like they were all like, she's clearly the biggest, like these are her dogs. She loves these dogs. They're, sniffing by the tree, and she sends them back to the mom sends them back to the house. So he sees the dogs running around, and they all have their matching raincoats, and they're cool. So yeah, Riwon and the dogs.
That's a good pick. I didn't remember. It's funny. I didn't remember the dogs actually having matching matching jackets, but that's a good pick.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. I end up giving mine to Sun Chul. I think that's how you say his name. It's the guy that he ended up killing at the end. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Sun Chul.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was I was scraping through, and I was like, what's like really stuck with me? I was like, there's a couple cool fits here and there, but I liked his. It's kind of just simple, He's just rocking the red turtleneck with the jean jacket on top. And I just thought it was clean. A fresh look. It's just a clean look. I'm like, I can see myself. Sometimes I go with like the crazy, like, oh, that's an outlandish fit, whatever. But like, it's just like a solid cabin fit, and I'm like feeling it. I liked it. So
that's a really good point, actually. Cabin fit, like it's really like it fits with the aesthetic of his house. He's got like, he comes in on the truck. He's on top of the world, man. He's got the good job. He's the Instagrammer, influencer, True. Making the videos, chopping wood and stuff. He's your lumberjack guy. So he's got on, he a nice cozy turtleneck. They got the fire going in the place. He's gonna get drunk with his homie. It's a good fit.
Thank you.
It's a good fit.
Appreciate it. Next, another self-explanatory. We have our best quote. So who gets your best quote from the movie?
I gave my favorite quote to Miri, which is his wife. I gave it to her. It's at the end, and she says it when he's about to go to work for the first time. She says, I called the real estate agent and said, we're going to keep the house. We planted an apple tree. How could we sell it? And the reason that is my quote is, one, I think it's just a really satisfying moment. Like I said, he won. We're going to keep the house. We did it. And also it's satisfying in the sense of we got away with it. Like we planted the tree. She's saying that because the tree is everything that we went through to save the house, right? There's a body under there. There's iPhones under there. Like they buried everything under the tree. So she's like, so that's her saying to him, because the kids are there. She's not going to say, we murdered people. We got to keep the house. So that's her, like, the subtext of her saying, we planted this tree. We went through all of the stuff that's under that tree that what I'm talking about. We can't sell the house. We worked so hard to get it. Like, now that we have it, we got to hold on to it. You know what I mean? So, and also the literal meaning of, there's a lot of incriminating shit under that tree. So we should keep the house so that that doesn't get uncovered.
No, that's a good quote. And that's the second part too, where it's just like, we don't want anyone digging up here anytime soon. I don't know how long it's gonna take for that body to dissolve, but even then the iPhone is gonna be sitting there regardless. So like we gotta.
Yeah, true. I guess worst case scenario with the iPhones would be like, oh, you get hit with some like a theft charge, like that's not the end of the world. Like the boxes, I guess, will decompose and the iPhones will just kind of, I don't know, sit there. But like a body, you don't want anyone uncovering that.
Definitely not. It's a good quote though. Um, this one was harder for me to find a quote. Like I think I said off pod. I was like, I like my quote, but I don't love it. But I did give it to Mansu. And the quote he said was, "You must disappear for me to live." And I like that quote because to me it just emphasizes how mad he's become in this aspect, because he just delivers it with such calm and just like a matter of fact of just like going back into the Family Guy moment of saying he has no other choice. It's just like, this just has to happen, man. You gotta disappear. Like it's almost him saying sorry. Like it's just like, you gotta disappear, man. Like this is in order for me to live my life the way it needs to be. Like you just gotta disappear. It's just
who does he say that to?
I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure he says it to. I think he said
I want to say the shoe salesman.
Oh yeah, maybe it is the shoe. No, I think it is the shoe salesman. I don't know why I didn't write down who he said it to, but
because I feel like you make a good point about like it feels almost like an apology where he's like because he doesn't, like we say, he's not a psycho. He doesn't want to necessarily kill these people. He's not like enjoying doing this. He's doing this because, again, no other choice. But so if he's seeing it as an apology, the only one he really apologized to is the shoe salesman, because the third guy, like I said, he's off the rails. He's on full demon time. He's just like, I'm killing you. Like, it is what it is. The first guy, he doesn't even kill. It's the guy's wife that kills him. But the second guy is, they connected, right? They connected over the paper. They connected over having children. They talk about his daughter. So I feel like that's the one that he connects with the most, where he's like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't want to do this, but for me to live, you got to go.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's why it was my quote. And I don't know why I was saying I didn't love it as much, just because maybe I wasn't feeling confident in the quote. But
yeah, now that we're you didn't sell it very well, man. Come on.
Yeah, no, I don't know. No, I like my quote. My quote's great. I like it.
It's fantastic.
Appreciate it. Next, we have our sixth man, aka our Peyton Pritchard Award, which is someone that showed out in their small role. So, who do you give your sixth man to?
My sixth man has maybe a bigger role, but we've established cinematographers are eligible for six men. So Kim Woo Hyung, the cinematographer of this movie, like there's just so many great shots and creative transitions. And here's where I'm going to shout out a couple of them that maybe I didn't mention already, but when we see at the paper factory, I think for the first time, they like drop some sort of ingredient or whatever to this paper in like this swirling bath of water at the factory, and then like the camera turns and like transitions into like a spinning something on the other side of the shot in the next shot. The beer drinking through the glass, we talked about that. The reflections of the detectives' faces when they look at the gun on the iPad. Remember the first victim, his wife. They show her the iPad, like, oh, he had a gun. Which gun was it? She picks the gun. And then we're seeing the guns like scrolling, but we're also seeing her facial expression on the reflection. Then she passes it to the detectives, and one guy looks at it, and then he passes it to the other guy, and he looks at it. And it's one take. It's not cut, and we see all of their faces perfect. I just know they had to practice that so much to get the perfect blocking, so you could see each of their faces, or maybe it's like another shot that they superimposed on the glass, or I don't know what the hell they did, but there's clearly a lot of work that went into that shot. I appreciate it, and like just the cinematography was incredible. There's so many great shots in this movie. It looks awesome.
No, it really does. That's a great pick. That's absolutely great. And I almost wonder, I'd have to look up later, see what other movies he's done cinematography for, because I know he was killed it, absolutely killed it.
I mean, I'm sure it's a joint effort with Park Chan-wook as well.
Yeah, 100%. But no, he delivered. Whatever the collaboration was with the deciding what the visual choices were going to be, it came through beautifully. It was great. I 100% agree. That's a great six man. My six man, I end up giving to Ara. So that's the wife of the first guy. Okay. And I don't know. The picnic that they had when they're back and forth was just funny to me. Like the sucking of the venom part was just hilarious. That's a joint effort of it being hilarious, but her just like getting in on there. And during the chaos of the murder, I think a lot of it's her delivery and like how she responds to those monsters made me laugh. Is when he's like has the point of the gun him, he's giving him the speech, and he's almost like giving him like a pep talk a little bit, and then like she's like behind him about to hit him, and then he's like saying all these things, and then she's like looking and she's like listening to it, and then she starts agreeing and she's like shaking her head. It's just dying. And then just the whole scramble for the gun and all this stuff. It was just, oh yeah, she was killing me. So she showed out in her small, and then the chase scene. There was just she had such a big moment in like the small section of the movie that she was in. I mean, she came back around, but I just feel like she's not like a. I would say she's a sixth man. I don't put her in.
100%.
Maybe you could argue she's in the top five, maybe, but
no, you're good. And 100%, it's a great shout out. I mean, all the points that you made are totally right on. I think too, like the actress really went for it. Like in the sucking of the venom, you know, when they're at the picnic there, and she's asking them all these weird questions, like, why aren't you touch me anymore? Blah, blah, blah. And then the chase, like she just he's running down the hill and she's just screaming after him. Also, when like right before what I was talking about with the guns and the iPad, like when she's talking to the detectives, her acting is incredible because she knows that she killed him. The detectives are looking for him and she's saying he's missing. I don't know where he is. They think that he killed the second victim that Mansu killed. And she's like, yeah, he had a gun, but you know, you're supposed to register that, right? So that's why I didn't say anything. And I don't think he registered it. And she's like bawling her eyes out. So like obviously it's an actress performing this character, but this character is a phenomenal actress.
No, it's so true. That is a really good point too. I didn't even give her the props for that too, but the character herself, that was a great scene too in itself with the detectives. Because I was wondering what was gonna happen. That was another scene where I was like, I couldn't predict what was gonna happen here. Is something gonna get flipped on its head or whatever it is? But she held her ground on that, which was a great scene.
Bawling her eyes out, like, "Oh, please find my husband," and everything. I was like, "You
that was great.
Gaslighting devil." She's nasty.
Yeah, crazy. Second to last award, we have our best scene. So, what was your favorite scene from the movie?
I gave it to the first kill scene in the guy's music room. It's just, we talked about all the chaos of it is just crazy. I think having like the music blasting is such a good choice. I mean, it again, like the cohesiveness of the story, making it so that this guy, this is his passion, right? Music. So he has this room in the house, so it makes sense. So like you could have a scene where you want to have this kill and have music blasting just for like an artistic choice, but it also makes sense in the story of the movie. And so it means that when they're talking to each other and yelling at each other, they have to scream at the top of their lungs. You could barely hear. Thank God, like I had to watch this movie in subtitles anyway because I don't speak Korean. But like, if you didn't have subtitles, I feel like it'd be hard to understand. But, like with subtitles, we're good. But you're right. The when his wife then comes in, she's about to hit him with the statue, but then he's like, because the victim thinks that Mansu's the guy that was cheating with her, right? So he's like, oh, she even told you about like my paper job and everything, like what the hell? And he's like, no, man, you can't be a bum. Like you gotta work hard, you gotta do something. And that's what she's like agreeing with him. Like it's just there's so much funny stuff when he pointing the oven mitts at him and he pulls 3 oven mitts off to get to the gun. I'm just like, why is this even a thing? Why do you have 3 oven mitts? It's just fireworks, this whole scene. And with the music, it just adds more chaos to it. It's so good.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's a great scene. I was actually in between that scene and another scene, and I ended up going with that scene. But that was my runner-up. That was the 2 I was choosing between. But that's a great scene. I actually ended up going with the cabbing scene because it was kind of like our climax of the movie. And I think I mentioned earlier, like I just didn't know where the scene was going. We talked about like the cool cinematic memorable shots of like the drinking and even just the buildup of like the tooth pull was crazy. And this was just a moment in the movie where I was just like, okay, so many things can go wrong here. and I didn't know what he was doing with the bearing and then them taking him out. I was just so locked into that scene where I was just like, I have no idea what's gonna happen here. Like, it was just
Yeah.
such a good scene to me.
Yeah, and like it's the buildup is really good because the scene kind of works in layers, right? Like he first comes to the house and the guy shows up, and we're like, okay, he's here to kill him. We know that, and then he's getting him drunk, and he's not drinking, right? We see
Yeah.
him pouring the shots into this bowl, so we're like, okay, he's in control. He's gonna
Yeah.
go through on his plan, and then the guy comes out, he's pouring 2 drinks, and he makes him drink, and that changes everything. We know that he's an alcoholic, that he doesn't do this, and now he's drink this beer and he's drinking vodka, like he's drinking a lot now what's gonna happen? And then he buries him, they're sitting by the fire, like there's just so much buildup where so many different things can happen, and the guy's getting more and more drunk, and you wonder, is he gonna find out why Mansu's actually here and fight him, or like you just have no idea where it's gonna go. So I'm locked the hell in. It's a great scene.
Yeah, and there's even a part where you think that, is he like catching on to him? Like, because the guy
Yeah.
even feels a little skeptical. I'm like, is he on to him? Like, I don't know how we know he was gonna kill him, but like, I feel like he's maybe suspicious why this guy is really here. He's really thinking about it, but he was too. Then he's too drunk to really understand like what to really deeply think about it. So yeah, the scene was just great for having me on edge in that aspect. So that's why I ended
Yeah.
up going with that one in the end.
Yeah, I mean, 2 great scenes. I mean, mine is unpredictable as well. Like, what they're just fighting, what they're yelling at each other, and then she shows up. You're like, what the hell is gonna happen?
Yeah,
And when
exactly.
she gets the gun, it's hilarious too. She gets the gun and points at him, but she's holding it like upside down,
Yeah.
and he's just running out of the room. And then he's running. Then you hear the gunshot off screen, and then he's like feeling himself like, what? I didn't get shot. And then you turn around and she shot her own husband. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's just like,
This
what?
movie's great, man.
Yeah, no, it is great. Last but certainly not least, we have our MVP. So where's your MVP go for this movie?
Park Chan-wook gets my MVP. He directed, co-wrote, produced. That is a trifecta that will very oftentimes, if I like the movie, get you the MVP. Really funny. I think that the tone worked perfectly with everything else that was going on. I think the little details of each different kill making it believable, like I was talking about, like he's getting better at each one, and it makes it believable that he's not getting caught. Like another way where we can like really be immersed in the story and not feel like we're watching a movie, because oh well, like where are the cops? Like how are the cops not catching him, right? But like no, the Aro is one that killed her husband at the first one. He didn't kill her, so she's covering everything up. And then the second one, he leaves the bullet casing, but when she IDs the gun and then says that it was her husband, that covers that base. You know what I mean? And then when he kills the shoe salesman, he takes his camera out of the car so that like that's not there. So like there's all these little things that are like, okay, like it's fair that they wouldn't be catching him. Maybe, you could, if you were really digging into it, like there's fingerprints or something, like maybe they should have caught him. But like for the most part, I'm like, okay, it's fair that, they're questioning him, and there are reasons for them to not believe that it's him.
Yeah.
The cohesiveness of the whole story is so great. I mean, it's just the visuals are partly because of Park Chan-wook for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea of making us root for this terrible person that's killing people, I just think is so fun.
It really is. And hey, that's why my MVP is also Park Chan-wook. So
certified MVP.
Certified. Baby. We back. We were on a drought for a little bit, 2 episodes. We back with the certified. And like I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. Like I already started off hyping him up, and when the beginning of the episode, so I might even tip my hand with that. But I'm just echoing everything else that you just said. I talk about how much I love the style of the movie in the sense of like the dark humor and just like that style of making jokes in these moments where maybe you wouldn't expect humor to be. The style in the sense of the cinematography, and we obviously mentioned that was like a team effort with him and the cinematographer, but just based off of watching a lot of his movies, they always have like a visual element to them where like they're really going for a shot. Like they could have just had him
Mm.
drink normally, right? And it could have been a normal shot of him drinking, maybe look a little cool with the background. But the decision to put it like in the glass and have it tilt up like that, like little things like that is obviously like that's a team effort. A cinematographer wouldn't just do that. The director would be like, okay, that's a bit much. Like there has to be some kind of thing like, okay, no, let's really go for it. So
Right.
I take that as a collaborative thing and the unpredictability of this story. And yeah, no, it's just great. He deserves it. 100% deserves
Yeah.
MVP in my book.
Yeah, I mean, it's so well written, it's so well shot, it's so funny, it has everything in that. And I mean, we were talking about subtext too, even like your question about the ending, like is it an empty win? Like that's worked into there, and the whole thing with the tooth, like that doesn't need to be in there.
Yeah. No, it's true.
But he adds it in, and the fact that we were talking about the characters, like everyone in the family has something to them.
Mhm.
Like his daughter's not just there and she's just going to school and she's just like a regular, like, because that's boring. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like we know we're watching a movie. We want everyone in this story to be there for a reason or have a slight angle to them or
Yeah.
something, right? And they all do, and everything's in there for a reason, and it's cohesive and full, and it's great.
Yeah. No, it really is. That's a good.
Well,
Oh, my bad. I thought you
that's
were
a
gonna say-
certified
That's certified.
MVP. We love to get those. And that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the episode. We hope you enjoyed No Other Choice. If you did, the episode anyways, we would appreciate a 5-star review. Five paper companies,
five
candidates,
5 candidates. Kill
5 snake bites.
5 snake bites. Suck 5 bite the venom out of leg. I don't know. I don't know. We clear as you can tell, we didn't discuss what we were going to say for this beforehand.
We like to go off the dome.
We like to go off the dome with that one. Yeah.
No, we appreciate it. It would be greatly appreciated. You could check us out on Instagram, TikTok at the Film Room Pod if you want to be part of the family meeting. Reddit as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, the Film Room Podcast. Check us out. We will see you next week. Dion, do you got something? Do we take it away or do we?
I got something. I got something.
Finish us off, baby.
I want you guys to remember, you must tell your friends about your new favorite movie podcast because you have no other choice.
You have no other choice.
And peace out.
Peace out.